Expedition Online is supporting some amazing organizations this year, including Martha's Table, a local DC charity that's very close to my heart, and the Susanville Symphony, which is a local Susanville charity very close to Coach's heart, as well as some other really incredible charities. So to donate, click the link below.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to day 13 of Expedition Online, Season 5, Monteverde. I'm Sam Donovan, and with me tonight, John Schneidman of Season 4 fame. Schneidman, how are we tonight?
It's the Sunday after Thanksgiving weekend, so we're all feeling the love, and it's the how exciting is this?
We made it to the final 5. It's crazy. This game has been really flying by. I'm sure it hasn't been for the players, because as we both know, sitting back is... every single night your mind is reeling. They've had 4 whole days off to stew about this, think about their plans. I feel like that's going to make for an exciting, anything's on the table tonight. I could see any of the 5 going home tonight, honestly.
Yeah, we have time to just sit and concoct schemes. You could think of some wild shit. So who knows what this group is going to come up with tonight?
And this group has thought of wild shit before. They've been all over the board so far. So
they have concocted.
So let's just recap where we're at right now. Final 5, we have Jack from Team Coach and 4 Fishback left. David and the Golden 3 from the Golden Crossroads, Robbie, Randy, and Simona, through hell and high water, have made it this far in the game together. I don't know how they did it, Frank. I don't know how they haven't bit each other's heads off at this point.
Well, what's interesting is that I think a lot of the factors that led to the Golden Crossroads have also led them to getting this far. I think so much of what happened at the Golden Crossroads is a bunch of really smart people and a bunch of really social people completely outthought themselves and completely overmanaged the situation. They learned a lot from that and are now pressing the right buttons and putting the right dials at the right time, and it's led them to this point. I think it's really impressive that the 3 of them who have worked together this entire time and have never really made a secret of their alliance have managed to make it this far. I think it speaks well of all 3 of them as players.
Yeah, I think it's crazy. Like you said, everybody's kind of been aware of their alliance this whole time, and yet now they have a majority at Final 5. Like, if they want to do it, Jack or David win exemption, they just vote the other one out tonight. I don't know if it'll be that simple, but it's certainly something to keep an eye out for.
I think, especially after the 4-day break, like we said, I'll be interested to see how each one of them views the other 2 and their own individual chances against the other 2. I think it'd be really interesting to see if any of them, all it really takes is one of them, came away from this saying, this is where it ends.
Yeah, right. Well, and you're talking endgame and jury management. That's what it all comes down to now. And we know Jack and David haven't got along in the game yet. But even so, like, if they come together and they bring in just one of those Golden 3, anything can really happen. And maybe that target is Robbie, because when we left off, Lady K got voted out, and on her way out of the game said, nobody trusts Robbie. That's a huge target to paint on somebody's back at the Final 5, right?
That is a huge target to paint on somebody's back. It'll be interesting to see if any of them internalize that. Considering how strong of a social player he is, maybe able to just brush that off, but who knows?
At least from our outsider perspective, it certainly feels like Robbie's been running the game. Like you said, this is the time to lock in, so let's have everybody buckle up, get ready for this Final 5. We're ready for some action.
We are down to the final 5. Let's fucking go! Let's go! Jack does what we all expected him to do, which is play his compass. Bravo. I mean, you have to bow down to the man. 6 compass plays this season. That is insane. That has to be a record for one. Props to this man. But on the flip side, we get Lady K. Lady K is heading home.
And it made me really sad because that woman is inspiring. Like, Lady K is amazing. And I knew if I was on the jury, I wanted to vote for Lady K. The outcome of the vote was a 3-1 to 1 to 1, which I did not expect. That means Lady K and Jack didn't even vote together. The reason that we ended up piling our votes instead of splitting them was because Randy was overly paranoid. I guess I overestimated David. Like, if David was smart, he would have gotten with Lady K and Jack and been like, we need to get out one of them and get them to split. Like, that was the obvious right decision. I guess David's, like, can't standness for Jack is, like, that deep.
I still am super confused on where he's at the moment in terms of his gameplay.
I'm really hoping that there aren't any more compasses. That's what I really hope. But, like, I'm sure he'll find one, and I can't vote for him, so I might as well just, unfortunately, vote for one of the old fishback people. I don't know. I feel like taking out Simona or Robbie would probably be the smartest. If I end up at the final 3 with Jack, I'm gonna be so annoyed.
I don't think I'm winning this game. I've fought like hell. And I will continue to fight like hell. I'm the last team coach standing. I'm proud of that. Even though it's not the way I wanted it to go. I'm proud of that. We will see how it goes from now on.
All eyes are now on getting Jack out of the game. We have to get him out. He's got a great story to tell if he makes it to the very end. So we got to make sure to get Jack out of this game pronto. So
I'm now in a really tough position where I've been running endgame scenarios all day, and I think my best chance is either against David and Jack or David and either Randy or Robbie, and I don't know which one. And
honestly, like, it's a huge thing. I've been preaching it all season. What it would mean to me for an alliance to form at the very beginning of the game and go all the way until the end. We just don't see that anymore in social games, and it's about to happen.
That rips my heart out because it would be so poetic and adorable if Randy, Robbie, and I could all get to the end together. It would be so cute. If I thought I could win, I would be so down with that, but I don't know if I can win, and I have to think about it a little more. Voting Robbie out would absolutely break my heart. Do I think I have to do it? Yes. And that makes me so fucking sad. I don't know when the time is.
Randy has played a compass correctly. Randy is also very sociable. Randy also missed a couple of days, yet his name still didn't come up. That is a testament to Randy's social game. I wouldn't mind sitting next to Randy. I'd actually, but we'll see. We'll see. I may end up even changing my final 3 up.
Simona, Robbie, and myself have full control of this game now. Make sure Jack and David cannot win the next exemption challenge. And assuming they don't, Jack goes home next, then David at 4, and then us 3 in the final 3.
And I would love to sit at the final 3 with David and with Simona.
David has voted wrong almost every single time. So he's voted for Jack every time except for the Jenny vote and the Lady K vote, which he did not orchestrate. One of those was saving his ass, and one of those, me, Robbie, and Randy were like, we're doing this with or without David type of thing. So I think I can beat everyone and no one at the same time, but
I'm feeling very anxious about tonight, and I shouldn't be, because really all I can do if I don't win exemption is pitch why the vote shouldn't be me, and if the vote comes down to me, then, you know, all I can do is say that I've tried. But with that being said, I'm never going to give up. I would love an exemption win tonight. And if not, I feel like I have a reason as to why every other person should be the vote instead of me. I'll be truly gagged to see if people would vote me out over Randy, because I believe Jack would put his vote on me. I just, you know, I'm not exactly sure what to expect from tonight.
I hate that Lady K feels like she couldn't trust me.
Trust is a fun thing. I hope they're not that mean. Like, regardless of whoever makes it, I hope they're not that mean.
I just find it very funny that Lady K was the one who, more than anybody else, said, I will not be a bitter juror. We're all gamers. We're all here to play the game. And the last thing she said was, don't trust Robbie. And then she laughed.
I hate that. I hope she still at least wants to be friends. Like, even if, like, for some god reason I make it to the end, I would hope that she's not, like, mad at me or she doesn't care to be friends after this.
I don't
I don't get the feeling that I think any of them are going to be like, no, I don't want to be friends with this person. I think everyone is very like, I think in the game there might be bitterness, but I don't think outside of it there's any.
Jack, do you want to go talk to Randy or do you want me to? I'm good either way.
You're more than welcome to. I'm just going to sit and look for a compass.
That's valid. That's valid.
Yeah. That's my plan.
Randy were saying when we were there together, well, look, those two just went together. That's what Randy said. Well, those two just went together. Those two are tight, whatever. So that's the perception.
Which is whatever. I will write down her name next time to prove to you that I'm
not worried about that. If Jack doesn't have exemption on Sunday, then I would like to split the vote because I really don't want him here. It would just be such a sigh of relief. Like even if I came in fourth. Anyway, there's literally no situation where I'm voting for you. I did almost cry when I voted for Lady K. I'm not gonna lie. Even if you said to you took me off guard, I'll be honest, but
don't trust me. Oh, so she was under the impression that I was going to vote Randy with her and Jack.
Oh, she was under that impression too, so I don't know why she didn't say that about me.
Yeah, what's weird is it still would have been a 3-2-1. It would have been 3 votes her, 2 votes Randy, 1 vote me. Like,
yeah.
Then what? I just look stupid. So no, I'm not voting for Randy.
We got this. I'm not voting for you next round or after that.
Same. I'm final 2 right here. I swear to you.
I promise. That is what I want deep down. Randy said, I've never made final 2 deals with anybody. And I was like, okay. I'm sure.
He's promised a final 2 to me. You're the only person I've said final 2 to.
Likewise. I don't know where Robbie and Simone's heads are at, to be honest.
They've been working together. I mean, it's playing like, if it's a final 2, that's the 2. And I mean, never voted for you. What's the next move for you? Like, what is our best move moving forward?
If Randy doesn't have if Jack does not have a compass.
I think that Randy's social game and how personable and kind Randy is the reason why Randy should be the vote tonight if Jack wins. Now, the reason why I'm nervous about Jack potentially being the vote is because apparently compasses can be played at 5. I really hope that once that last compass was played that it was out and it was not rehidden. As long as Jack does not win exemption tonight, I am okay with putting the vote on Jack and throwing a vote on Randy. I want to win this game so bad. I truly don't think that any of them want it as bad as I do. It's not just like because I'm at Final 5-0 and it's so bad. I've wanted this since I sent my video in. Like, since I sent my About Me video where Fishback picked me first. Like, that was the moment I knew, like, I want this. If I'm going to sign up to play, baby, I'm going to play. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to play. I'm here to slay. And I'm truly here to stay. So I really hope that tonight's Final 5 exemption is, I want to be the winner of that tonight. And then I can guns out. What's up?
Hello and welcome everyone to day 13 of Expedition Online Monteverde. We have 5 explorers remaining and about to jump right into our exemption challenge for this evening. Today's exemption challenge is the Sloth Slide.
Greetings explorers, today's challenge is the Sloth Slide. Since these are 2-toed sloths, go ahead and take off your shoes because we will be using our feet. When Jonathan says go, you will take 1 cup at a time off the stack. If more than 1 comes off, you'll have to use your feet to take them apart. Then take 1 cup at a time and transport it using your feet. Slide back and get your next cup. You will continue until you have all 5 of your cups set up like this. Now you're transporting 1 ping pong ball at a time with your toes and dropping it into the cup. Your goal is to get 1 ping pong ball into each of the cups the fastest. Good luck!
And I gotta tell you, I'm looking forward to watching you guys do this one. This should be a lot of fun for us
There's a
viewers.
point of creativity.
You guys not so
but
much,
there's
but
also
for
a
us,
point
it
of
should be hilarious.
insanity. And I think we've
All right, so let's get started. Right behind that line, one important thing to keep in mind is to make sure that your ass is completely going past that line each time. If a mod calls you out, you've got to go all the way back and do it again. All right, everyone looks to be in place. We are starting this competition in 3, 2, 1, go! All right, they are off. And they're going to have to use their feet, slither across the line here, and set up these cups. It's going to be difficult. Everybody's got their first cup across. Now, getting that cup up the right way is probably going to be one of the hardest parts of this challenge. Looks like a couple are choosing to do it as they go along. Randy having no problem so far, onto his third cup already. Jack trying to keep pace. Also on his third cup. Simona coming across with hers. David and Robbie just a little behind here, working on their second cups. So very important exemption challenge. Not a lot of room to hide here, as we've only got 5 explorers remaining. And a lot on the line here. Randy getting his 4th cup across the line, just trying to get them all upright. Simona's got her 3rd. Jack's got his 3rd. Both of them have their cups where they need them. So that's good. And Randy's got his 4th. So Randy's got a slight lead right now. And then it looks like Robbie and David are right on the same. They're on their 3rd cup here. Oh, Randy's got a variable. It's his dog. Looks like he wants to get involved. Let's see if he grabs one of those cups and runs off. That should be hilarious if it were to come to fruition. Jack looks like he is now. Oh, Simona took a lead without me paying attention there. She has dropped her first ball. Jack now with his 5th cup. Simona's already dropped a ball. Simona now has dropped her 2nd ball. Jack dropping his 1st. So Simona's got a little bit of a lead. They're really scooting here. I thought they'd have more trouble controlling this ball, but
Simona now dropping her 4th ball. It looks like Simona just has the 1 ball left to go now. She has her 4th ball dropped. Jack has dropped one of his cups there, falling a little bit behind. David's got his 4th. Randy's dropping balls. But if Simona can drop this one, I believe she has it. Simona has 1 exemption. She will be safe tonight. She's the only female left in the game too, so a huge win for Simona representing the women. She will be in our final 4. Everybody coming to visit me tonight at Crossroads. The only person you won't be able to vote for is Simona. I will see you all there. So go on, get to it. Congratulations, Simona. Big win. We'll see you all in a bit.
What's that thing? Hold on. What's that thing on your top left of your screen? I'm just making sure.
Oh, that's a painting that a buddy drew.
The jar. No, the jar.
Oh, the jar? So the jar
Yeah.
says John's don't touch.
Son
What an amazing challenge. I mean, props to Jess again.
I won. I am so thrilled about that. I can't believe it.
Simona comes through. Simona, let's go. Oh, big clutch moment. So,
Oh, okay. Who wants to talk to Randy? Who wants to talk to Jack?
I probably won't talk to Jack tonight because that's what I'm voting. I think Jack will understand, and I'm sure Jack will vote for me, which is like, why waste each other's time? You know what I mean? That's how I feel. Unless he's not voting for me, but I feel like he's just going to tell me what I want to hear and then not. I want to vote Jack here if y'all are down for that. I mean, again, if he compasses.
I've been looking. I mean, I don't know where to look except for where they've been in the past.
What I'm wondering is, when they say tonight was the last night for it to be played, does that mean that if you held on to it till 5, it could be played, but not like we would continue to rehide it every time that is played?
There's no way to know.
If a compass is played tonight, it could screw me over. But we're at final 5. I don't want to lie about where my vote is going.
first person I want to speak to is Robbie, because I have to clear up what I heard Lady K say at the last Crossroads. I was kind of concerned about that because she voted for me. So
I'm just curious what went down.
She was convinced that I was going to vote you with her and Jack.
Okay. I'm not
But-
mad about my name being thrown out because I've been thinking about this all over the weekend. And I've been telling like my family this. I was like, I trust Robbie. Robbie is my number 2. I'm worried that you were getting nervous because I was throwing your name out, which I have been doing, but I am only doing that to, try to throw off the direction that we are going. That's the only, it might seem like I'm close with David or I'm close with Jack. I'm with you 1,000%. Like I'm down for this until the end. So tonight's vote, I would hope is simple. And I'm so happy Simona won because I'm like, if David or Jack win, we're screwed because say Jack has another compass and he could play it for David.
Right.
So now I'm kind of like, what's the plan?
What do we do here? Do we do us 3 just vote David here and hope that the 3 of us beat Jack out next round? If you do the calculation, it's the final 3. Us 3 could duke it out.
Yeah, we could. Is that what's best for our game? I want that to happen. I want the final 3 to be you, Simona, and myself. But I'm just saying this is a key part of the game where you and I have to, see moving forward what we want to do. Obviously, Simona, I'm not saying vote her out. Like she's safe. So I'm saying between David and Jack.
Honestly, listen, I think if we take a shot at Jack tonight, he's likely going to write down my name, which is, and listen, if he plays a compass and I go out in a 4-1 vote, so be it at this point. I feel like he played a compass last round. The question is, would production hide another compass at the final 5?
Or did he already have another compass? That's what I've been worried about. Whether they hit it or not, if Jack was holding on to 2 or 3 compasses throughout the game or whatever, is like tonight the final time he could play that last one. I personally feel like David is, whoever we vote out tonight, our goal will obviously be to make sure they don't win exemption challenge, because then we would have to vote out one of us 3. I personally feel like David has been better at the challenges than Jack has.
Right.
So that's how I'm looking at it. I don't mind either one. Obviously, I want you, me, and Simona. I think it'd be an awesome story, and it never happens anymore. Like an alliance to stick together until the very end. Like I think it'd be a really cool story. David or Jack, I don't really care which one. I think David's just a little better at challenges.
That, and then if Jack has the compass, then Jack is 1,000% going to play it on himself. So I think David is the safer vote. Jack is always going to play Jack's game. I don't think Jack is one to look out for, especially a person who's been targeting him and targeting him and targeting him. Like he would be very brave to play a compass on David tonight.
You think Simona is still down for you, her, and myself to go to the final 3?
As someone who openly said to you, like, I don't like the way that you play this game socially, I have gained a lot of respect over the course of the last couple games or days for your social skills. So props to you about that. Secondly, I agree with you. I know Randy has had advantages in the past. He says that he's not good at finding them. I don't know necessarily if I trust that. Do you feel like he might have something?
The only compass
Nothing.
he had was from the summit.
Gotcha.
Nothing has been hidden as far as I know. So if it was, I'd be looking. But yeah, he should not have anything tonight.
Jack, I think most people, I believe you when you say that you don't have something, but I'm assuming that Randy and Robbie also would think that you do. Randy was the one who pointed out to me that compasses can be played until the final 5, so through the final 5. And so I think he's going to target me because he's going to think, well, Simona has exemption and Jack probably has a compass given his track record. So
I don't know. I've been trying to reflect on
their games. And I think it's hard just because we don't know the conversations that other people are having. And so it's hard to like distinguish like what edge they have over each of us. I mean, like I know where we all know where everyone's voted every time, right? So our games are like distinguishable in that way. But beyond that, I'm having like a difficult time discerning like who's played better socially. I think Randy and Robbie both have only received one vote the entire rendezvous.
Meanwhile, the three of us, not so much.
I'm just saying, regardless, like I'm fine with either option. I just say Randy because I believe he's the bigger threat. But at the same time, compared to them, I am not better than them. And I think they command a lot more respect going into that final ascent, like leagues more than I do. I've never had a one-on-one game conversation with Lori. Me and Madison were enemies pretty much for most of the game because we were in two separate sides of our original party. You know, Mike is the same. We never voted together, I think, except for probably the last vote, the one he got voted out at. Like,
Yeah.
I am the same exact scenario. And I'm just saying right now, if it is a final three,
We have
and
this can be it.
I'm very happy with that. I think we all sort of have been shit on a decent amount in different ways. We've all tried things and failed in different ways. And I feel like, yeah.
not only that, but I'm just thinking also to what Lady K said when she left. She said, don't trust Robbie. She's got some bitter taste for Robbie as well. So, in my opinion, if you guys wanted to do Robbie, that's fine. But that's why I think Randy is also the bigger threat out of the two overall because they have played both very strong social games, except Randy, despite not really being there that much for the first two rounds of the rendezvous, has done well.
And has been able to be like, I'm the nice guy, and responds very blanket, like nice to everything. But I do think it's a concerted effort and it's a calculated effort.
If it is a final three and they both make it past tonight, one of them has a very good shot at wrapping it all up because they've played peak social games and they have a lot of respect. So
whether it's I don't care, like I want to meet up somewhere with you, meet in real life and like get lunch and hang out. Yes,
Yeah.
like I want this to be a long friendship. So, but yeah, I definitely agree. Like we haven't really had time just to chill and like talk and like get to know each other really. So I'm looking forward to after the game too. But I do have to ask for the game. What are we saying today? Like because you said they probably won't believe that we're against each other.
I think tell David, Jack, and let's see if Simona's okay with the 2-1 split. 2 on Jack, 1 on David.
And you're not worried about them getting together at that, like, well, no.
Jack and David. I mean, if they do, like, let's say the 2 go on Jack.
It'd be a 2-1. I get it'd be a 2-2 split.
Yeah, and then if he compasses and they vote for me, I'd be out.
Do you think they'd vote for you? Because I came into today and I'm like, if they compass, I'm out. I'm gone. I think I've burned Jack so many times that he's done with me.
Jack voted for me last round. I think Jack will vote for me again, 100%.
Do you want to do 2 on David and 1 on Jack? Because say we put 2 on Jack and 1 on David, and then they do get together, and they vote you, myself, or Simona, but Jack plays a compass for himself. That's 1 vote on David, and that's 2 votes on whichever one of us, and then it wouldn't be a tie split at that. It wouldn't be a tie vote at that point. I think that's what I was trying to say earlier that I'm nervous about.
Yeah, 2. So put 2 on David, 1 on Jack.
Yeah, is that? Do you feel more comfortable with that?
Yeah, that'd be great. And then what will happen is if David actually votes Jack as well, and Jack doesn't compass, it'd be a 2-1
between David and Jack, and then we could vote out Jack
on the revote.
Okay, so do we want to do Do we want Simona to put her vote on Jack, or do you want one of us to? We could do like the two guys on David and then Simona on Jack if she's down for the plan. Should one of us head back to base camp?
Do we want to go back to the main room?
Yeah, but I do want to say, legitimately, Jack, Simona, if they say my name, go with it.
Where?
Okay.
Just don't actually fucking vote for me.
Ah. Oh, God. Better hide a compass, man. I swear.
But part of me sees where he's coming from, but part of me also doesn't. So
Remember
I
how
know-
Lady kept saying Jack is the biggest player and X, Y, and Z? Jack is the last coach. Yes, he's had to compass his way to the end, but I just feel like he has a story of perseverance. And with Lady K being his cheerleader because she's pissed off at us,
That's true.
Lady K she was very inspirational. She's a great speaker. So if she's on jury, like hyping up Jack, 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 I feel like Lady K could convince people to. I mean, she's a pastor, like she said. She convinces people.
I think Mike would probably vote for him if he was the end too.
I think Mike, Lady K, Jenny. I think Jenny might be convinced by Lady K to vote for him. I don't know if Madison would. I think Lori could also be convinced. Like, I don't think that Jack is.
Yeah.
He's on immunities. He's able to find compasses. I think he is played with his back against the wall. Like, that's a story some people want to see.
I think you know where everyone else is going. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really need to tell you what Robbie told me, right? Like, I feel like you know. So, like, that's why I was like, if you have a compass, Jack, you might want to play it. If you have
Maybe.
one last,
Okay. If they find one in the next 43 minutes, I will try my best to get it. But otherwise,
because I think I know where everyone's votes are going, and that's the best I can tell you is even if I go with you, if you have a compass, man, play it.
yeah,
1,000%.
that is a given. But I have not found one. So
We got some time here. I can't find it. I don't know how you do it, man. I have zero idea how you find them.
I'll explain it all after this is. Yeah.
Wait, where? Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, so we were talking, and Jack. Can I say what we were talking about, Jack, or no?
Yep, please.
Okay. So Jack threw out that Robbie is probably the most likely to win the game. And I told him all I can tell him right now is I will consider it because I think Robbie has played a much better game than I have.
I think he's played a better game than everyone has, all around. Truthfully, I do.
So it would be a huge move to get Robbie out, but it's not a terrible idea.
His first vote was last round. His first vote.
That was his first vote all game.
This entire game was last round. If that is not a testament to a social game, I don't think I know what a testament is to a social game. The man is dominated.
He has played a really good social game.
So I think that trumps. I think that trumps it. I think that trumps
Simona,
everyone.
thoughts?
So.
I know you are enjoying your noodles, but thoughts?
Enjoying my noodles in safety. I am conflicted. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I agree.
I think out of everyone, literally the only person who can feel safe tonight is you. So congratulations. I mean, so that's the play. I mean, Jack knows he's a man that has been targeted by the FBI this entire game, and they've been waiting to take the shot.
Yes.
So that's his pitch, is Robbie, and that's a good pitch. Like he came and he brought a good pitch.
If I lose the next exemption challenge, y'all can boot me then. Like if I lose that challenge, y'all can boot me then. And if I do win and I do make the end, I will lose regardless. So I think it is ideal for y'all to take this shot and make a stand when you can, because even then, regardless, you two are fine. Because you can easily go, if I'm safe, David. If I'm not safe, me. It's as easy as that.
Do you think David will go along with this, or probably not?
No, if you go for me after this, fine. But it's doing one of them, separating yourself. You know.
Hey, Robbie.
Hey, Robbie.
Why? Jack, is it me tonight?
Time to plead. All right, hold on. Let me get comfortable here. Robbie, please, for the love of God, do not vote me out. Please, Robbie. Please, good, dear freaking Lord. I do not want to go home. I will. I suck at this game. Okay. That is my physical pitch. Thank you. Now, time for my emotional, mental pitch. Let me get my tears. Hold on.
Okay. Wait, I do want to ask you about something. Like
Yes.
you said if I wanted an explanation, and truly, like it doesn't. I voted for you as well.
Yeah.
I feel like when I jumped in the room with you last minute, I was not convinced that you were going to vote with me and Lady K.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, I don't want to vote Lady K out here, so whatever. I'm also just curious what made you vote for me?
At the time, I was of the opinion that you were the bigger threat over Randy. That was my opinion at the time.
But why? Like, what makes me a bigger threat than Randy?
I personally thought it was social game. And I talked to Randy about it, and he buttered it up as well. And he said, hey, Robbie's played a phenomenal social game. And I kind of saw that from him, and then saw the dots kind of clicking, you not getting a vote till the final six, things like that. And I was like, okay, I think this is the best move for me. Now I don't think so. I think Randy is the biggest threat left. I believe. Yeah. I think the reason why, and I think the reason that kind of does it for me, is that I told Simona this, I told David this as well. He basically said at the beginning of the last round that he wanted to go to the end with me. And I don't know about you, but in going to the end agreement doesn't mean leave the person you're going to the end with completely out of the loop and basically throw him into the minority of votes so that he looks worse to a jury. And so if I went to the end with him and stayed loyal to that, he'd completely have that leg up on me. And he'd have that leg up on anybody else there if it was a final three, right? So that's what does it for me. I think that his whole, I've been very aloof. I've been very, I'm not really directing these votes. I'm not doing anything like that. I think it's worked very well for him. And I don't think he's gotten a vote besides that last round since that Greg crossroads.
And that was because he was in the minority there, like the newest person to that group. But even when he was like MIA, no votes, not even name mentioned, correct compass play, like just such a lovely personality. I feel like I've pissed off the jury. Not only, let's talk about how Randy has voted correctly at every crossroads.
Right.
I don't
He's voted for either in the majority or voted the person out that did go home.
I think he's voted the person who did go home every round in the rendezvous. I don't know what makes me more of a threat than Randy, but was he pitching my name again when he was just in here with you?
Yes. But I'm telling you right now, Robbie, I was skittish last round. I'm not going to be skittish this round. I will be voting Randy. I basically have no legs left. If I do go home, he's potentially one exemption and challenge away from snagging the whole thing. So
I've misplayed 2 compasses. I have just been trashed. And so I think he is a much better option than me to go tonight. And then if I lose next exemption, there I go. It's as easy as that.
If I'm being honest with you, the only person name whose name like I'm not willing to write down is Simona, and that's because Simona's exempt. I do see Randy being the biggest threat here. I think I was afraid to say Randy's name because Randy's well liked. But if you're being genuine here, I'm willing to write down Randy's name tonight. I've written it once. I probably still have the parchment somewhere around here.
Yeah, I'm literally on my knees here. I don't have compass. I've looked, believe me, I've looked all today, all Tuesday. I have not found one. So this is it. So
I'm gonna head to base camp.
Listen, if you are being genuine here with me, I will vote Randy tonight.
Yes.
Do we load up on Jack and just hope he doesn't have something, which I don't believe for a minute? Or do we make the move and vote Robbie? And then at that point, it would be you, me, and Simona. And then at the very next crossroads, we just get Jack out. Because at that point, I know for a fact he won't have a compass or anything.
Yeah,
We just
exactly.
have to hope. We just have to hope he doesn't win the exemption challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, unfortunately, as much as I like the idea of getting Jack out, I think that it's not as much of a sure thing as the latter, which makes me really sad. But I also think if we're all in on this, Robbie can be pissed at us, but like he has to vote for one of us at the end. You know what I mean?
What do you think Simona, like, what do you think, where do you think Simona's head is at? Because I think Simona is honestly like the person in the middle. She's safe tonight. And because she's safe, she can go wherever she wants. If she decides, when I was talking to Robbie about getting Jack out, I was like, the numbers are, I mean, I feel like everyone is in trouble tonight with the numbers. Like there's not enough numbers to really make a big plan or anything. So it's kind of like you just got to take a shot for who you want and just hope. So do you think Simona would go with us? Or because Robbie and Simona have played this game together since the get-go? Jack votes me. You and I vote Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
And then that would leave Robbie and Simona, who would vote Jack, assuming that's their plan. At that point, we go Jack and get him out of the game if he doesn't play something, or do we get Robbie out because he's a bigger threat? Because you've already said you're not voting for Jack if he makes it to the end.
Oh yeah, he knows that.
It's a lot. Sorry, I get all over the place. I like to ramble.
Right. Yeah. I think if it was some kind of quizzing challenge or trivia about the season or about Survivor or whatever, he would absolutely destroy it. Hey, David.
Hi. How's it going?
So I have told Robbie I will be voting Randy. That is what I'm doing. Has your mind changed at all? What are you thinking now? No? Okay.
I might want to talk to him by myself. So I trust you. If we want to do.
He told me that you, Jack, and himself, like Jack was throwing out my name immediately. Saying,
He was.
Randy. As soon as I got in there, he pleaded, Randy, don't vote me out tonight. Let's go after Robbie. And I knew that was bullshit. I know he's going after me. And I hope that you, David, and Robbie don't actually want to get me out on like a big move. Cause like I told David, I do feel like I have a good social game, but outside of that, what do I have? I have not made any big moves. I've kind of been along for the ride and just been told where to vote. Like I was thinking about this today. So like, and I spoke with Robbie and like us three are still good. So the conversation I had with David is he said, let's vote Robbie, assuming that Jack is going to play something. And then from there, we can decide, who to take, whether it was you or Jack. But I was still kind of pitching that you and Robbie are like this, and you've played together the entire game, and so. But I don't think it's working. I think they know by now it's bullshit, and they see right through me.
Randy is an excellent speaker, but he talks too much. Way too much. Like telling me that he's painting Robbie and I as a duo. I do not like that one bit.
So
Yeah.
Robbie was convinced that if Jack plays a compass, his vote was going to him. And I'm like,
Right.
no. I think if Jack and David work out something, worst case scenario, they both have compasses, I think I'm going home tonight, which would be an iconic way to go out. I just want the three of us, you, me, and Robbie, to get to the end, because I think that's an incredible story of like an alliance actually sticking together until the end. And I told Robbie I would like almost tear up because like I made it to the end with the people I consider my best friends in this game, and I don't care who wins at that point. So now that I got my spiel out, and because I'm super nervous and I talk even more than usual when I'm nervous, where's your head at?
I don't know, it's funny because tonight has been the night of everybody trying to undersell their game as best they can, which has been funny. Because some arguments are definitely things that I have processed myself. You know, some of people's arguments I think are true. I don't know if they genuinely believe them to be true or just want them to be true. But, you know, it's a game of perception. I'll be honest, I don't know what people are actually wanting to be doing. I haven't really had the chance to talk one-on-one with anyone yet. So if they are actually wanting to vote you, like that kind of sucks because then it doesn't matter. And I'm not giving you my necklace respectfully.
No, don't. Please don't. Like I
No,
said,
I wouldn't.
Have
Very
you spoke
Eric.
with Robbie yet?
Not one-on-one.
Okay, so he had a plan tonight to do a split vote. 2 votes on David, 1 vote on Jack, and then assuming they vote together. But if we put 2 on David, Jack plays his compass for himself. Whoever they vote for, it would be a 2-2 tie. And then at that point, shit. Oh no, yeah. At that point, we would be good because you and Robbie
and
would
I,
vote
yeah.
David, and then Jack would vote. So that's an option. It just kind of depends on whether Jack and David get together, and like David is assuming Jack has something. If they get together and Jack's like, they're gonna try to outsmart us, so I'll play my compass for you. That's the only thing that would mess that up. But Robbie does not see Jack playing his compass for David.
I mean, why would Jack play something for David if he wouldn't for Lady K?
That's what he was saying. But Jack's, I do feel like a smart guy, and it'd be a huge move. And
He is, but like he's acted out of self-interest this entire game.
yeah, I mean, it'd be risky.
Yeah.
So that's the plan. But the other plan people are pitching is Robbie. That's what I'm hearing.
I've always been like skeptical of those two since it was just us 3 left on that black party, because I knew if we went back to Crossroads, I was gone. I was gone. Like I didn't have a chance. Just because like when I asked them like, okay, if I vote Holden here, what happens next? And neither of them could promise me like, oh, it's us. It was like, it's us 3, and I'm like, not if we go back to Crossroads, it can't be us 3.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't work like that. So I know where I stand with them, and it doesn't make sense for me to go even final 3 with them, because if I did, I told you all season I suck at challenges. If I lose, I take 3rd. Doesn't matter. One of those two, they definitely take each other 100%. So it's like I'm voting Randy tonight. I pray that y'all are with me. Vote the Golden Boy out tonight, and at least give me a chance to fight it for. Again, I don't think Simona is going to write down Randy's name, but we have 3 votes right here.
I have no read, frankly, at this moment, what people are actually doing.
Yeah. So Robbie just went back to base camp if you want to jump there.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the name that David was telling me is go Robbie.
Okay.
So are we making this a move tonight, gentlemen, or what are we doing?
So does David knows about this?
Dave and I have talked about all options. I'm pretty sure when we were speaking. Yeah.
Yes, I am down to do this. Again, if I'm not, I'm going. I'm going. So I am down.
This is the plan. We got this. I'm going to go back to the base camp just in case anyone, if you guys want to join me, feel free to. Just so with the last 9 minutes here, if anyone's like, we got to talk, that gives them a chance to pull me aside.
I do want to talk to Simona one more time to see if she's gonna do me
Where she's
or
at.
do Robbie.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did Randy say to you?
Told me about the 2-1 idea. I don't entirely see the point of it. Like I get the idea, but it's like if we put 2 votes on David and they play an idol or a compass on David, Randy goes, right? Like the 1 vote on Jack doesn't matter.
Right. Well,
Um,
that was assuming that that David would be voting for Jack as well.
oh, it's a split in the idea that David is also voting for Jack.
Yeah, but I think David is. I mean, unless they were just telling me what I wanted to hear there.
Right.
It sounds like they're going to vote for Randy. But Simona, I have not gone against you in this game. I've been with you. I've not told people that. I've been trying to separate myself because it's easy for us to be like, for people to be like, Robbie and Simona, we've been together from day one type deal, right? And I want you to know that I haven't said final 2 with you or final 3 with you just because like I'm not voting. I'm not writing your name down.
Right.
Randy has talked to me about a final 2. David says that he wants to see where the game goes, but it's very open. So like I don't know. I don't think David is whatever. But Randy's the only person that I've talked final 2 with.
Sure.
But I don't know if Randy's just saying that to me. But I want you to know that I don't plan on going against you. And listen, if I go to the end with you and I lose to you, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose to David, Jack, or Randy for that matter. Just because like I mean David's whole debacle with extra votes and the compass is like if I lost to David I'd be like gagged. I know that's Jack brute force his way to the end, but I know he has that underdog story, so I don't want to sit next to Jack. And while I don't just think that I could just beat you, I think that we've still played different games or whatever. I think that you have played a game that easily could that could beat me. It just depends on what the jury is looking for, but I don't want to sit next to the others. So it's like if I even I don't know what I'm trying to say here, except I'm not going against you, and I truly hope that you're still with me.
I mean, that's the plan.
Okay. So Randy wants to do the 2-1. Part of me is just like.
I mean, if we don't have David, there's no point in a 2-1.
Right. Should we just vote Jack straight up? We vote David straight up?
Yeah, we just have to pick.
Do you have a preference?
I'm processing. Randy was saying that he thinks David is better at challenges. Yeah, I would like to talk to David because then I can find out from him what he's doing. And then if David tells me he's voting Jack, then I'll vote Jack and we can split.
Okay.
And then if not, I'll just vote David. Yes. Yeah. I would like to know where your thoughts actually are.
That's what I wanted to know about you because I felt like it was like, yeah.
I'm gonna be like
we're gonna say
honest, like I'm torn. I'm honestly torn. Like
Okay.
a decent part of me feels like our best shots would be against Jack,
I
which
think so too.
is a really risky thing to say out loud.
No, I
Because
believe it.
like in one way, right? It's like he's played a really flashy game. He's found all these compasses. Like he has had successful plays, right?
Yes.
Part of them have been successful. But on the other hand, it's like you're just compassing yourself to the end. Like, what is the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think that it's in our best interest to go as far as we can with Jack, to be honest. And I know it's not fun to hear because we've been fishback, rah, 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 but
No, I know. I agree. Like it's a little bit against what my gut wants to do. That's definitely like the emotional side of me that's upset, I think.
There aren't really many moves you can make at the final 5. Would it probably be a move to go against Robbie and Randy? Yes. At this point, I think my preference is probably to go to the end with David, and I don't know who else. Frankly, I want to say Randy because I feel like I can get to the end and be like, Randy is here because I want him to be here and because I wanted him to be here, and I chose that. I made that decision. Like when he was not super active, right? I'm the one who I like could have had the power to send him home if I really wanted to. But sending out Robbie or Randy or both would break my heart.
Please, Simona, like, we have barely voted together.
I feel like everyone's out to get you, but regardless of whatever happens tonight, like, I respect the hell out of you, man, for the game you have played.
Thank
hell
you.
out of you.
I respect both of you as well.
All right. So welcome everyone to the Day 13 Crossroads. We have 5 explorers remaining here. One of them safe for the evening, Simona with the big exemption challenge win. I mean, if you're going to choose one to win, this was probably it, right, Simona? Oh, maybe the next one.
I mean, yeah, I would take the next one too if that's up for grabs tonight. If I can have both, like, yeah, that would be okay.
Coming into today, how focused were you on winning this challenge? Was it high up on your list or something you never really thought you'd achieve?
Looking at the trend of this game so far, I don't think exemption wins have been huge resume builders. You know, there's not been one person who has dominated the challenges. And of course, like, for me, this is great tonight because I'm safe and it puts me in a position where potentially I'm in the middle. Potentially I could be making a position, making a decision in the middle position. But can't speak. But I think that, like, winning exemption in general, like, I don't think that's necessarily like a huge determinant in one's resume. I was really just hoping to win just because I've been feeling a little down about this game and needed the morale boost.
Well, it was very impressive. And Jack, once again, very close in that competition there. Would you agree with what Simona's saying, that the challenges really haven't played too much into the strategy talk?
I think the fact that a varied amount of people have won exemption challenges kind of puts it lower on the scale of what is considered important for win equity over things like social game, strategic game, how you maneuver, things like that.
Okay, now how about advantages? I mean, those must be coming into the conversation a little bit. I mean, Jack, we've seen you with a couple at the least. How do you think that's playing into the strategy talk and into people's thinking going into tonight?
Well, it's been clear to everyone. It has also been clear to me. There has not been a compass hidden, as far as I know. If there is, I am blind. I did not see it. So I don't think anything will happen tonight in terms of advantages. I think it's all kind of snuffed out. At the same time, I do think advantages very well could have weight, for sure. But I also think that if you're only looking at advantages, If you're only looking at one thing, if you're only looking at advantages, if you're only looking at challenges, if you're only looking at social game, there's so many other components to the game that's going on that if you're hyper focusing on one thing, maybe the rest of it is not as good as that one thing. Maybe you're good at a lot of things that are different, or maybe you're good at one thing in particular and not good at anything else. So it varies, honestly. And I think the best is for someone who has the most well-rounded weight.
Okay, now David, Jack makes a very good point there. I mean, there's a lot of pillars to this game here. I mean, it's fair to say that Jack is at least edging on the higher end for the advantages. Is there anyone else that is standing out in one of the other pillars for you?
I feel like although my personal perception matters to an extent, I also feel like what's more important is what the general consensus is. So I almost feel like it's not even worth me like sharing what my personal opinions are. So I feel like, yeah, the holistic game is most important, but I have a really hard time feeling out where everybody is. So.
Okay. Now, what arguments are you making to the other explorers here as for why they should be keeping you around?
Well, I feel like I've tried, I've been here, but also I've made some fucking blunders. So if you want to keep someone around who has repeatedly voted Jack and most of his votes throughout this game did not even count, then if you want to pile on top of someone who had horrible reads at multiple points, then keep me around because I obviously didn't know what the fuck I was doing at multiple points.
Randy, how about you? What kind of arguments are you making to the other explorers at this point in the game here?
I think the biggest argument that I've made is one that people are kind of brushing off, which is like the clearest argument against me is there was a good 3-day period that I was just not active. But like in terms of competing in challenge and stuff, like how much of that goes to you're still here because we kept you here. Like we could, and a lot of people came to me and they said, "What? We don't want to vote you off. Like when you're away, we feel like it'd be unfair." So like, a lot of that comes from the goodness of heart from this cast as a whole, and like how much they respected, my situation at the time. But I've just been basically saying, I've been a truthful as I can be, honest person the entire game, and so if you have trust in me, just keep that trust, and then let's do what we said we were going to do moving forward.
It's funny how everyone's always quick to point out the lesser part of their games at this point. Robbie, is that kind of been your focus as well? To focus more on the negatives, why you can beat me, as opposed to maybe some of the positives in your game?
No. I mean, maybe yes. I feel like my pitch is more so you have to get there first, and if I'm with you, I'm with you. Let's get there and see if it's a final 3, final 2, whatever. And if I'm not there, you might not get there. So it's like, keep me around and let's get there together.
Now, I wasn't there at the last crossroads, but I heard there was a little shade thrown your way, Robbie. How do you handle Lady K's comments on her way out?
Honestly, I feel like this might not look good to the people in the game, but like I felt sick after the Lady K vote, just because I'm not just pandering to her because she's on the jury, but I have, as we all do, so much love and respect for Lady K, and I know that Lady K expected me to do one thing and I did another. I feel like I might, if I make it to the end, I might have lost Lady K's vote there or whatever. But it's just like, I'm here to play a game, and that is part of the game. If I'm on the jury tonight, I don't know what time jury lights out is. If I am at FTC, if after the game, I'd love to connect with Lady K and explain where my mind was at in that vote.
Now, Simona, we do have the full jury in the chat room here listening in. Do you think that's playing into some of the responses that we're now getting at Crossroads?
I mean, maybe. I think
jury perception, obviously, at this point in the game is really important. And I think there are definitely some people here who, at least for me, and I think many of us didn't really get a chance to talk to maybe as much as we wish we had. And something I've definitely been reflecting on is like, I don't really know what the jury thinks of me. They could think this, they could think that. And tonight, you kind of pointed this out, Jonathan, but everyone's really been pitching, this is what I've done wrong. That's what everyone's been pitching. I'm like, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear what you've done right so I can assess what the jury is actually going to end up hearing, because that is not helpful. But the jury, you're not going to be telling the jury the wrong things that you did, right? So yeah, of course people are pitching the wrong parts. But yeah, I definitely think it's important that they're here. I think the things we're saying are important, but I think at the same time actions speak louder than words, and I hope that they see the games we're all playing for what they are.
I feel like I'm the only person who did say today my good part of the game, and I think it's something that has been catching some steam lately, so I definitely did acknowledge it, but I just don't think it's got as much steam in the engine as some people think it does.
All right. Jack, I think I saw your hand go up there as Ryan was talking.
I'd like to say the same thing. I mean, I guess if we're getting into it now, I guess it's pitching time. I think everybody who is not immune is pretty much ready to give it their all, so I'd like to take a swing at the batter's box first here.
Do it.
6 compasses has been very good. Has been really good. But beyond that and 1 exemption challenge win, what do I have? I have misplayed 2 compasses 2 times in a row at the last 2 crossroads. I have voted in the minority, regardless of who went home. I voted in the minority quite a bit this season, like too much, in fact. I think, if anything, while the number 6 and the word compass is next to it, and 1 exemption challenge is good, socially, am I that great? Strategically, have I been maneuvering well? Things like that. So my pitch is, yes, I have flashy numbers, but in no way do I have the fills in the blanks to kind of prop that up. It's just a bunch of teeth with no gums sitting in between them.
Anyone else want to throw up a final pitch? I was about to get to that portion of the crossroads.
Yeah, I have to live up to the hype. I told everyone I was going to throw out a final pitch, so I have to. I feel like, to the people who have trusted me throughout the game, I have never faltered, and I have been true with you since we got to the rendezvous. And I know we're at the point in the game when it's time to focus on who you're going to beat at the end. But the way I've been playing it, whether it's stupid or not, is I could care less. I have who I want to go to the end with, and that's how I've been moving forward, because I want to go to the end with the people. I love all you guys, but I want to go to the end with the person that I told, let's do this thing. So I'm hoping that carries some merit tonight, and I'm hoping that we can stay true to each other moving forward.
Last call. No more bets. All right. If you have an advantage that can be played before the votes, now would be the time to do so. All right, let's get to that vote.
My first vote in this game without a compass in my pocket, will it inevitably be the last? We will find out. But
boy, oh boy. So this vote tonight, for me, is going to determine my end game. As of right now, I'm thinking about if I vote David here, and if I vote Randy here.
Okay. This sucks.
All right, everyone. The votes are in. If you have an advantage that can be played after the votes, now is the time to do so. All right. Looks like a fake play there from Jack. We'll get to the votes then. Our first vote of the evening is for David. Our second vote is for Randy. Third vote is for Randy. Fourth vote is for Randy. Randy, unfortunately, by a vote of 4-1, you have been deserted here at the crossroads. As for the rest of you, you make up our final four. You have another 29 minutes to hang out tonight. Otherwise, we'll see you guys back here tomorrow night. Really excited to see how this all shakes out. You guys have a good night.
Out 4-1, which I was not expecting. I don't know. I'm shocked.
Congrats on fourth.
Oh, my God.
I know he's gagged right now.
He's not happy.
Damn, that was brutal.
Yeah.
You were just so likable, so rootable. Like, you just were so good. And it's like, I don't want to sit next to you at Final Tribal Council. Like, I feel like I've pissed people off. So it's like, I'm not going to take the most likable person I've ever met in my entire freaking life to the final ascent. Like, that doesn't make sense.
I have a lot of questions for Simona and Robbie.
And with that, the game is going to get a little bit quieter because we lost our chatty Cathy friend, Randy. Goes out in 5th place. A lot better than 14th, which I looked back, he almost went at 14th. So, epic comeback from Randy. And for all the shit we've given him, played a really good game. I really respect Randy's game. He had everybody's ear at some point or another.
We had a lot of fun with Randy, but that's only because he's really fun. I think he was correct that his social game was outstanding. You know, he knew what was going on every single vote. I think what got him in the end was he got too messy in trying to cover up his alliance. He thought he was being loyal by telling them what he was doing. In fact, it only created a question in their mind. Is this fucking guy plotting against me? So I think that's what got him in the end.
Especially at 5-2, like there just weren't any places to hide anymore. He played a great game, but he got exposed at the end. And really what did him in was his closeness with Jack. So Jack from the get was really driving this vote. He threw out Randy's name right away, and for all Jack's talk on being a compass master, and that's the only thing he can rely on in this game, very nice strategic move by Jack at this point if he can get to the end here now.
I agree with that completely. I think what's interesting is that he spent so much time begging people not to vote for him, when I was thinking maybe he should pretend he had a compass, but him begging so much made everybody think that he was protesting too hard. Oh, so he must have something. He's working way too hard. But you're right. He came out right away. Randy. And that's what happened. Thus, he deserves a lot of credit for that and for using whatever card he had to keep it away from him. That was really impressive tonight. It will be, we talked about this before this round. What does everybody think? I wonder what Jack thinks about who he has the best shot against. I don't know. So that'll be very interesting going into the final four to see where he thinks he stands in the pecking order.
For sure, I agree completely. And that was a lot of talk about that at Crossroads tonight, where everybody was kind of pitching why they should stick around and talking about how shitty their game was. And I don't know, what's your approach there, Schneidman? I don't think pitching yourself as a bad player, especially when the jury is all watching at Crossroads, is the right decision here. You're still jury managing at this point. You have to make sure that they know that you're playing a good game, right?
Yeah, save that for strategy. Don't do that in front of the jury. Don't shit on yourself in front of the people who are going to be deciding who wins and who loses this game. I thought everybody was going a little too hard on that. And I think it was smart of Simona to say, actually, I think I'm doing a pretty good job.
So Simona is somebody I definitely want to talk about, as well as Robbie. Robbie and Simona have set themselves up nicely, and they both have a champion on the jury now in Randy. Do you think one of them stands out above the other at this point, and why?
Right this second, Robbie stands out ahead of Simona. I think Simona was trying to take that power back tonight by not telling Robbie that she was voting for Randy. Robbie sniffed it out. And I don't think Robbie knew that Simona was voting for Randy, But Robbie, because he is also smart, had the sense that he needed to be on that side tonight. I think Simona has played a very good game. I think Robbie has been playing out front of the two of them, right? Robbie got the blame from Lady K. Robbie has been the vocal one, you know? So I think Robbie has the leg up, and I think Simona missed a real shot to get Robbie tonight.
I agree. I think that would have been the right move on her part.
I think this was a half measure from Simona tonight. I think she has correctly diagnosed her problem, that she cannot be sitting next to both those guys in her alliance at the end. So that was good. David was saying to you, we need to get Randy and Robbie. Okay, why don't we just do Robbie right now? And I think that would have solved most of her problems, because now she can get rid of Randy right next. I think Robbie was the bigger issue, and this didn't get the job done. And now Robbie's one challenge win away from winning the whole thing.
Or one more sweet-talking round of just schmoozing everybody and getting to the end.
His thing about I'm not well-spoken, and that, like, he's just saying that enough and making it a reality for these people, when Robbie is the best-spoken person in the entire cast.
100%.
Robbie can convince anybody of anything. And so the fact that people starting to buy that out there is just, I mean, fucking, that guy's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I'm very curious, though, if Jack can make the end with the game that he's played and the cocky attitude that we know he has. I would be very interested to watch his Final Ascent performance, because if he really just owns up to the cockiness, I don't know, his performance could be very interesting and certainly compelling, and would make me think twice anyway if he says the right things.
He showed I think it would take some sense from the jury that the guy they met in the game was a performance to a certain extent. I think that would go really far with this jury. That if he said, hey, this is the guy I had to be.
Let's also talk about David, our final of the final four here. What is the end game that gets David the win?
A meteor knocking out internet to the rest of the players. I think he would have to, and I would support this as a move. He would have to start lying his ass off at Final Ascent and start taking credit for things that he had nothing to do with. What it would take would be him giving the performance of a person who is not who he was in the game. He would have to convince the jury that he was not completely lost out there. There may be empathetic ears.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many people on the jury that tried to help him vote out Jack time and time again.
If he can convince them that the things they saw with their own eyes is not what happened.
I mean, it's happened before. So in Survivor, we've seen people talk their way to victories that may not have been there necessarily. So with that said, I feel like everybody has a shot to win this game.
Absolutely.
Let us wrap up day 13 here. What a fantastic day. Again, very sad to see Randy go. I hope we see Randy in the future. It's because he's truly a delight to watch. For day 13, this has been John Schneidman and Sam Donovan for Expedition Online. We're out.
If you asked me day one if this was an easy decision about casting a vote for this person, I would have said hell fucking yes. You irked me day one. I couldn't stand you. But today, it is with a heavy heart that I am casting my vote for Randy.
I want to say it is an achievement not only to find 6 compasses, but to what is this? It is also an accomplishment to vote for everybody left in the game. I have voted every single person left in the game at some point in this game, so I will take that to the bank. If this is the last time you see me in here, cheers.
First time I've written his name down all game, and it kills me. David, I love you, and I hope we can hang out after the game.
If I vote David here, and David were to leave, I would be stuck with Simona, Randy, and Jack. If Jack wins the next exemption challenge, I go. So I think my vote tonight is going to be for Randy, and the reason being is because if Randy goes here, I feel like Simona will need me. I'll just have to do some damage control. If Jack wins final exemption or the next exemption, I could convince them to vote out Simona, saying that Randy will be a cheerleader for her on the jury. She's also on exemptions, idols, or compasses, whatever. The only thing that's going to really mess this up for me is if Simona compasses for Randy. If that happens, I have to win the next exemption or I am donezo. And I know this is another person going to the jury that has felt betrayed by me, but I have to get to FTC to even pitch my case in the first place. Therefore, this is the best bet for me to get there. So tonight, my vote is for Randy.
I'm gonna be voting for Randy. Randy, I hope when you watch this back, you know how much I love you, how much I've loved playing this game with you. If I get bamboozled tonight, it's game over for me. But I want you to know that I think you've played phenomenally. But I cannot afford to be seen as a follower in this game, and so I need to give myself the best shot at winning at the end. I'm glad you don't care who you sit next to, but I do, because I don't think I would win next to you. So with all the love in my heart, I have to vote for you tonight.
If you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe and click on the bell to receive notifications so you don't miss any upcoming episodes or bonus content.
This can be a little hard on the Tootsies.
As we are out of advantages, there are no more compasses. Sorry, Jack.
One of my confessionals I put, Rock and Ronda was talking 70% of the time, and Randy was talking 40% of the time. And I know that's over 100%, but Ronda was probably talking over Randy.